Hello Rhinos, this is the big one for Christmas. We're gonna be making Christmas cake. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, my name is John Collett, and in March 2018 I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and within 6 months I managed to reverse my condition, and I want to help you do the same. So today, Rhinos, we're going to make a Christmas torte without any flour. Now, before we get into this, I want to stress this is designed for 10 people. It's not designed for you just by yourself. It's so you and your family can have a treat on those special occasions like Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, and maybe Easter. It's not designed really for you to have on a day-to-day basis as a treat every day. So I want to stress that before we begin, and before you start putting in the comments how much stevia are you using and you're using baking powder. I want to stress it's a treat for a special occasion, so you have something to do. So I'm so excited about this because I've tasted it and it tastes great, but now I get to make it. Let's get into it, Rhinos. Okay, Rhinos, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to separate our 4 eggs. Now this is going to be fun, okay, because I don't do a lot of cooking in this house, and so I don't do a lot of separating of these eggs, but I was going to be brave and I said I would do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to separate them, and we're going to put the whites in there, the yolks in here, and the idea we're going to use the whites later. Okay, so let's give this a go. Whoa. Like a pro, look. Yeah, and then put that in there. Good stuff. See, I got it very good. There was no confidence. Before we started this, there was a talk of me only doing one. Okay then, Rhino, so the next step is to put in the stevia. Now normally you would use 120 grams of caster sugar, but in this case obviously we're not going to be using caster sugar because we're type 2 diabetics. It's not a very good idea. So we're going to use the equivalent of the sweetener that you use. We're using stevia, so we're going to use 20 grams of stevia, which looks a lot, doesn't it? But in this bit we're only going to use half of that. Okay, so we're going to put half of that in there. And then what we're going to do is the zest of 2 oranges and 2 lemons, as you can see, prepared earlier. Waited my whole life to say something like that. So let's put that in there. And what we're going to do is mix this down. Okay, so we're going to lift that, put that down there, and push that, and then right, let's get into the next bit. We're now going to be we're going to be mixing our dry ingredients. So what we're going to be using this is a 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, a teaspoon of cinnamon, teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of bicarb of soda, teaspoon of baking powder, and 150 grams of ground almonds. Okay, so as you can see, prepped it earlier. Look pretty, doesn't it? so I put that in, and when I say I prepped it earlier, that's not what I mean at all, but there was. So let's give credit where credit due. Let's go to my wife. And so the whole bag here, yeah, put that in. We'll put that in there. And then we mix it up. Okay, so the next part is to stick this in the mixer, and we're going to mix this for about a minute. Now, the idea is when we put this in, it's going to look really, really dry. And that is exactly the sort of look that we're looking for. So next, Rhinos, we're going to add 1 grated cooking apple. Get that in there. And 1 grated carrot. So we're going to do this for about another minute, but we're going to crank up the speed on this one all the way to 4. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a tablespoon of rum or brandy, whichever one's your preferred one. Obviously this is what we want in at Christmas. We're going to scrape the mixer down again. And like I said, you know, for ideas for drinks at Christmas, gin is good. Gin is good. You can have gin as an alcoholic drink at Christmas if you're thinking about having an alcoholic drink at Christmas. Right, and this is going to go in for another 30 seconds now. So the next big, Rhinos, is we're going to mix the egg whites. And we're going to use this mixer here, or you can use a hand mixer. We're only going to put it on 1. And the idea is to mix the egg yolks, because as you can see at the moment, they're all flat, but we want them to be bubbly. So that's going to be what we're going to do next. So as you can see, bubbles are formed. That's what we want it to look like. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this at a higher speed on the mixer, because what we want to do is get the bubbles to rise up on this one. So what we're going to do now is add the other half of the sugar substitute, the stevia in this case, whatever you use, put that in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to mix this in until we get soft peaks. So this should be interesting. So there you are, soft peaks. So the next thing what we're going to do is we're going to add half of this into here, and then we're going to fold the ingredients, which my wife is very nervous about me doing. Very. So. And so what we're going to do now, we're going to add the rest of the mix. And what we're going to do is we're going to fold all of this as well. Now you can't rush it, because this is what's going to make the cake rise. So no using mixers to save time. Otherwise it's not going to do what you want it to do. So there you are, guys. You do that until all the egg white is mixed in. And what we're going to do now, we're going to stick that into a prepared bake tin. Okay, we've leveled the mix out at that point, and now stick it in the oven. Use the cooking instructions.
Okay, so your oven should be preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, 175 degrees centigrade, gas mark 4, or 155 degrees in a fan oven.
Okay, Rhino, so we've used quite a deep pan there, so we're going to let that cook for 50 minutes. If you use a shallower pan, you don't need to keep it in for 50 minutes. It'll cook quicker, but that's for you to work out. Okay, so because we've done it in the deep pan. So we'll see you again in 50 minutes when all of that is cooked. Okay, so what we've done, we've let the cake cool down. We're taking it out of the tin. We're gonna move this over here, and we're just gonna put a very light sprinkle, probably too much, of cinnamon on the cake, and that's it. Your Christmas cake! Woo! There you are, Rhinos. So that is how to make a torte, okay? So I hope you really enjoyed that. Now, if you're looking to reverse your type 2 diabetes naturally and you want to join our program Reversing Type 2 Diabetes, go to the description below and there you'll find a link. Click on that link and that's going to take you to our website, and I'm going to send you then a video of the 5 steps that our clients take when they want to lower their insulin resistance, lower their blood sugar, reverse their type 2 diabetes, put it into remission, whatever you're happy with me saying. I'm going to stick another video here about foods that you can eat as a type 2 diabetic. Remember, you're not a number. You're a rhino. Now charge. Ho, ho, ho!